There is a championship on the line tonight. The final race of the Rolling Thunder iRacing Series first season, and it ends from coast to coast. We are back in California. This is Kern County. Welcome to a track we've seen before on FTN Broadcasting, but for those of you on Elevated TV, this might be a first-time trip back to the desert. This is the Desert Showdown and the last race of our first season here in Rolling Thunder. Kevin Harvick's Kern County Speedway plays host tonight, and live on Elevated TV and FTN Broadcasting, I'll be your host, David Kreutz, commentating and producing. Great to be back in what is due to be a thriller of a race. We have 50 laps ahead of us here, and the qualifying field has been practically settled out. We're just waiting on the green flag to fall and qualifying to conclude. Your lineup is set. At the top of the board is the number 84 of Xavier King. Here is your qualifying lineup as they stand. It's a short one, but it's set to be a thriller. On the inside of row number 1, you've got the number 84, Xavier King. He'll take it there with a 19.876 second lap. That is the fastest by just about a half a tenth of a second. Dakota Bro will go second place with a 19.992 second lap, set to clinch the championship today. If Dakota starts this race, it will be his. Third place is Bailey 3, 20.191 second lap for the number 61. He is third, and the final driver to take a time as behind him, 2024 Integrity Ignite Series champion Braxton Deweese and the 052 of David Palmer. It is a small field, but it is competitive, and it comes down to who is the best of them. 3 drivers taking times, Braxton and Palmer deciding to lay back, and they will start at the back of the field intentionally here, expecting a quick yet competitive race. Kern County, no stranger to being one of the more exciting short track venues on the West Coast. Let's talk a little bit more about the track we have at hand here. It's almost like the West Coast equivalent of a Richmond or an Iowa. This half-mile circuit has 4 corners and a banked front straightaway, and also with it, it's got turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 with a good degree of banking, and you'll see that momentum matters a lot. Unlike Richmond and unlike Iowa, however, this track is uneven from top to bottom. You'll see bumps in the road that these drivers are going to be hitting up and down, which is not going to help them out as the tires wear. 50-lap run, not likely to see guys go down a pit road. More than anything else, you're going to see these drivers stuck to the pavement and stuck to the problems that the tires may give them here. 4 drivers lined up as it stands, waiting on the last of them. It looks like Palmer now there with, and so King will lead him off inside of row number 1 as we are set to go racing from Kern County. "50 laps on the day, with the possibility of up to 3 green-white checkers if necessary." iRacing official pace car getting them going. Dakota Bro with a very successful season, and with this being our season finale, as long as he takes the green flag, the championship will officially be his. Dakota outlasting them all and making it to the final round with a title in hand. Let's see if we can go out there and get one final victory. Of course, the last moment of the season, one final chance to prove who's really on top. King was just faster over the course of our qualifying procedure. Not the biggest of differences, but still something to overcome. It'll be King on the inside, and on the outside crew, Dakota will go. A little bit of a disadvantage on that row. We've seen it before, and we may see it again tonight. We'll see how fast he can work his way out. Last time we went at it, the Rolling Thunder iRacing Series, it was the double header at one of the shortest tracks on the venue, the Nashville Fairgrounds. Now back to some real speed and some real size. It's Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway to finish off our first season. King, Bro, 3, Palmer and Deweese, and they're underway for a 50-lap dash in Bakersfield, California. And across the line, it will be your championship leader, Dakota Bro, taking an early advantage on the outside. They're still toe-to-toe, side-by-side for the lead. However, a little bit further back, you'll see it's already single file. 5 drivers to do it as they all go through the green flag here. Nobody with problems yet. Palmer falling back slightly. DeWeese not able to get a good launch, and he's watching as Bailey Threet holds the keys to the kingdom if these two have problems. It's the 84 on the inside, the 52 Dakota Bro still up top. Dakota with the disadvantage, and yet he has led every lap so far. That may change here and now, but the outside is better off corner exit. That's perhaps the only thing that's keeping him in the mix right now. He is going way high, especially out of turn 2 here. And you saw the previous lap. He ended up rocking up to the high side, nearly out of control, Dakota. Lucky not to hit the wall as they come across the start-finish line again. It is a night sky here, and it is pitch black other than those stadium lights. Track conditions are in driver's favor with 67-degree temperature and winds eastbound at 11 miles an hour. That doesn't really impact these guys too much. So they're running toe-to-toe without a care in the world. First 5 laps see Dakota, the leader of all of them, and he is in the exact same position he was when qualifying got us going. Xavier King, are you worried right now, or are you really pulling 100%? Bro has been able to use that outside and use it very well. The good thing about Kern County is even if you're not all the way up on that high side, you still have a lot of room to move up when you're on the inner groove, and that's why I don't think King is too concerned about really putting Bro out of line. Dakota's got a comfortable groove, so does Xavier. And right now they're dead even. The only difference maker will be if one of them ends up breaking. And it looks like Xavier very close to falling out there. Dakota trying to clear, has not yet been able to do it. Coming down the back straightaway and making it into turns 3 and 4. Still the same fight. Just slightly Bro edging out now. They were about 7 thousandths apart 3 laps ago. The gap is now extended to 1/10 of a second. That's the biggest it's been all night. And in 9 laps, Dakota set to clear from the outside. And that's going to move Xavier King back. King now in second. That gives Bailey Threet the shot to go and try for the catbird seat. Take a ride on board now with your number 61. That time by 20.131 second lap for Bailey. Not all too quick right now. The field, they're running slower laps than qualifying, and Bailey in particular having to lay back, watching now as King faces the pressure. First 10 laps come and gone. Dakota's led every one of which, except for the jump off the line. Braxton Weiss still following. David Palmer about 2 seconds behind this leading pack. DeWeese just a few tenths off right now on Bailey. So far, track position being king. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 for your 2, 1, 3, and 5 in qualifying. David Palmer falling back. And, of course, King losing the race lead to Dakota Bro, but still there in the podium. Bailey maintaining in third. No difference right now for Braxton Deweese. Every driver that is on the server tonight using the newer iRacing street stocks as compared to the original Camaro SS, the more Monte Carlo style body ran by your top 3 drivers. And for Braxton Deweese running today in the style of a Ford Thunderbird, he is 4th and right now the only driver with that Thunderbird style body on the racing track. Big slam on the wall there for David Palmer, and he's going to cake the right side of the 052. Falls a little bit further back. It's still the top 4 tight. King falling behind Dakota here. There is a possibility tonight that we see a competition caution to get things tighter. Opening laps have gone clean and green, and I wouldn't be too shocked if they stay that way. However, race admins hold the jurisdiction to throw a caution at any time. Competition cautions, we've seen them before. We may see them again. Last time we went racing, we had more than 10 cautions, so big change of pace so far tonight. as drivers are definitely not slugging it out with each other. We've seen almost no contact driver to driver. King and, of course, Dakota Bro, they were close to each other, but really ended up doing anything to each other. Very clean, very respectful racing at the head of the pack. 34 laps to go. It is still 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a move made by neither the 61 nor the number 8, although it looks like Bailey pulling up well to the backside of Xavier King on the run out of 4. Still hasn't found the opening. That entry is going to be difficult to access, especially when everyone's blocking and protecting the inside. While King was able to make it happen by using the higher groove, he was, of course, outmatched by Dakota Bro. Both drivers going high. Dakota went higher. Right now, everyone's locking themselves down to the bottom, and it looks like there's no match for going low. Dakota now building a few tenths of an advantage. Coming across the line, that's 3/10 of a second over King. Make it 4, and still Bailey 3 right there for the taking. Take a look at the list on board now with the number 61, and you'll see and hear exactly what it's like inside the cockpit. Let's go for a lap, and let's see what we see, and let's hear what we can hear here. Bailey not yet able to make any big difference. And it's a pretty simple game. Light on the brakes, easy on the throttle through 1 and 3. And it's all about power and momentum right now. Braxton Deweese, however, trying to take that away into the inside. Cutting low comes Braxton Deweese. Braxton to the inside. And he was able to get that small opening. That's all he needed. Up high goes to 61 of Bailey 3. And Braxton Deweese has a nose in. And now he's got it door to door. Coming across the line, it's going to be dead even again here, and this is a challenging thing. The inside does look to be the advantage for the straightaways especially, and to make a move, but you can see there, Bailey pulls it all right back down the back straightaway, and particularly the front straightaway. It looks a lot better on that front straight as he makes his move around. A little bit of contact there for Bailey. Just a rub. He will be able to get away. Side by side, still for third here. No change between your top two drivers. However, Braxton Deweese might have the stuff to go out there and chase after King. Well, we'll see what he does if he can just get the ball rolling here. Third place, hard to get. Now with an advantage coming out of 4. Bailey just fast enough. And this is tight racing. Door to door, not a lot of contact. It's been remarkably clean from driver to driver. And you got to wonder, are they going to end up leaning on each other halfway down? Halfway to go. 24 laps remaining in this one. And Deweese still can't get there. The Interstate Ford right up against the Monte Carlo with a 61. Deweese low. And just might be able to do it if he lunges it in a 3. That he does. And that he does. Braxton Deweese clear for third. He'll get himself up one spot. That'll move Bailey back down to 4th. Braxton, the biggest mover on the day now. So Deweese gets it up into 3rd place. Now the question is, can he enter the upper echelon of this fight? Braxton was able to score himself the 2nd win of the 2 race heats we had at Nashville 2 weeks ago in our final Legends race of the season. Now, let's see what he can do coming from the back of the field. He benefited big time from a 10-car field invert in which he finished 10th after a wreck in heat number 1. And in the second heat, started on the pole, he led every lap. He led all of 32 laps in the scheduled 25-lap race. Braxton not afraid to find that inside, though. He pokes it out right after the start-finish line. Here comes Braxton. Here goes Xavier King once again on the defensive. Braxton now going to take it low. Xavier King shot to the outside. So far, the inside has been advantageous. King lost a spot on the inside, though. So what can he do now that he's out of that preferential spot? It might be even harder for him as he goes high into the wall. And as expected, pressure blows over for King. Now he's fighting just to be in third. King against three, but it's Braxton Deweese in second, going after the champ. Luckily, just going to be a small smack on the outside for Xavier King, and he will get away while Deweese chases after his final target. That's the leading man. That's Dakota Bro. One last win on the season. It comes down to these two men redlining as he comes in to turns 1 and 2. And it's about time for Deweese. Look at that. That was a great exit out of turn 2. Braxton Deweese. Huge run that time by. He's got 17 laps to do it. It looks like now Deweese is going for the last to first challenge. He qualified in 5th. And he's got himself the stuff to go all the way. He just needs to find a look down low. He's done it at everyone else. Who's to say he can't do it now? Just a bad corner for Dakota Bro made all the difference, and it looks like Braxton is just so much more confident going to the inside all the way down to the paint. And it's funny we mentioned that. It's Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway. Kevin Harvick at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, so famous for diving to the inside and using that paint groove to get a little bit of extra grip on the bottom. That's what Braxton's doing now, and look at that. Dakota, for the first time in 35 laps, has competition to the inside. Braxton is low, and they're side by side for the lead. Deweese is faster, and he's got the inside. The only driver with experience to battle on the high side, though, is the man that Braxton is going against, and that, of course, is Dakota. Across the line, new race leader, it's Braxton Deweese by 21 thousandths of a second. Xavier King gets that third place spot back from Bailey Threet, but it's all about the top two now as they race down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4. No lunge is going to do it, not this time by, and it's still Deweese fighting to take the spot. At the stripe, he had it again by 34 thousandths. Dakota is hard to shake off. He is stubborn on the outside, and he's not afraid to go a little door to door there. You might have just seen it. Now, Braxton's seeing he's got the momentum, and Dakota's trying anything to take it back. Side by side in a 1 and 2 still, but you'll see Dakota is falling slightly behind. If Braxton can lunge it into one of these corners, he may be able to clear. But still, Dakota's trying hard on the outside. That might have cost him. Lunged it harder on the outside. He'll get a good run down the front straight. Momentum is king. Set yourself up good out of 4. It takes you all the way to 1 and 2. Braxton still leading here. And it looks like he's just barely clear. Dakota gonna get right behind Deweese. And they're about to go bumper to bumper with 10 laps to go. Make it 9. Here's a look on board with Dakota now. What is the limit of aggression in a race like this? Deweese is just much better off the exit of those corners, though. That is the difference. Braxton is not going to protect the inside there, but instead gets down late and another surge down the back straightaway. A well-designed set of laps. Time and time again for Dakota Bro here. And it looks like it's only a better set of laps from Braxton Deweese that will beat him. Finding the inside and not being afraid to attack. That is what Braxton has been able to make himself out to be, the attacker of this race. And it's given him the head and shoulders edge. He's looking to finish this season with 2 consecutive wins, and this time doing it from the back of the field up front. 6 to go now. Braxton has a 0.5 of a second lead. Dakota now falling back with some tire wear. Bailey is in third. Third to third. David Palmer is now 4th to 4th as Xavier King went down to pit road and is 1 lap down. Let's see why that happened. As you can see, he's back here. The 84 was alone, and it looks like he pulled it in on his own. Braxton Deweese, 5th up to 1st. And now one last shot from Dakota. A really hard drive out of 3 and 4 there. Cuts the gap from 5/10. Gets it down a little bit lower. Still about a half-second range that time through. Four to go, coming to 3. Braxton is the only driver of his kind in this race with that Ford Thunderbird, and he's the one and only to have driven through the entire pack. Doesn't look like Dakota's got enough stuff left, unless he's hiding something. But there's not a lot of time to hide. Coming across this time for 2 laps to go. 1 mile left this season. Braxton Deweese is looking to go out with the last steps of glory and finish off with 2 consecutive wins. It's a great performance for him tonight to go from the back of the field and spend more than half the race in 4th, only to pick off 3rd, then pick off 2nd, and then take the lead. 1 lap to go for Braxton Deweese. 1 lap left on the Rolling Thunder iRacing Series season, the first of its kind. Braxton out of 2, clearing away. It's a 1-second difference between he and 2nd place Dakota. Through 3 and 4, no competition. Braxton comes home free, 2 consecutive wins, and the finale win in hand. Deweese, winner from Kern County, and 1 second behind him, your first champion in Rolling Thunder history. Dakota, bro, finishes on top of the standings, and the championship is his. From the desert, Dakota is your champion. Braxton Deweese is your winner. Back to front for Deweese. Dominant season for Dakota. And it's all said and done as the checkered flag has fallen. Deweese, the man of the hour, and they're going to be finishing up 1, 2, 3, Bailey Threed, David Palmer, the last of them, as he just now comes across the line 4th. Xavier King ends up finishing off the lead lap, 7 laps down, and Deweese is now due to celebrate. What a run for Braxton. What a run for Dakota, wrecking after the checkered flag. And I think he's still going to try to celebrate here. That's your champion, bent up. Deweese now coming toward that start-finish line. And hopefully to meet him is the champion. But for now, take a look at your final race winner from Kern County. Looks like Dakota's car couldn't stand a burnout tonight. However, your winning man, Braxton, was able to make it happen. With that being said, 7-point difference over Xavier King is how the championship finishes out, and your winning driver, Braxton Deweese, supplants the champion. Dakota wins the title. Braxton wins the race. Dakota, championship winner by 7 points over Xavier King, with Bailey Threed in 3rd, David Palmer 4th, and last on the field, King in the 84. We'll be right back with an interview from all of your drivers tonight, so stay tuned live on FTN for continued coverage of the Kern County Desert Showdown right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Coverage continues from Bakersfield, California, as the Kern County Desert Showdown ends the first season of the Rolling Thunder iRacing series here on Elevated TV and FTN Broadcasting. With that being said, before we get to your winner, we of course have to talk to your champion. He finishes second today, and I'll tell you this much, he was involved in a great battle, not just one battle, but two battles for the lead. Qualifying second, taking the lead, and then battling till the end with Braxton DeWeese. But all in all, he is a champion, and so we're bringing him in right now, the number 52, Dakota Bro. The season ends, and you win the title, and a top two finish to go with it to end it.
Not a bad one. You got me?
We got a copy now, yes.
Wasn't a bad one. It was a good season, really.
Well, first and foremost, the championship, it is yours. So how does it feel with the season out of the way and the title in hand?
Man, it was kind of tight at the start. The end of the season wasn't too bad. It was kind of rough for me, but we made it through.
And it looks like now, of course, with that championship in hand, ending a great season. Gotta ask you, we had ourselves a few types of races. We had our street stocks, we had our legends, had late model stocks. Was there any type that ended up being your favorite as the season went on?
The street stocks are like my absolute, but other than that, it ain't too bad. I run all of them.
Well, it looks like regardless of what it was, you came through and had yourself a great season. Championship now yours for this first season. You think you'll be coming back for the next?
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
Well, that is great to hear. Dakota, championship P2 to finish off the season here. Any final comments or shout-outs you'd like to leave us with?
Not really. Just thanks to Cody for everything he does.
There we have it.
You, of course. But
well, without a doubt, great season, Dakota, and a great way to wrap it up. Second place, thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
Dakota's now on the way, and of course, the championship winner had to go toe-to-toe to even get a shot at the win. And Braxton Weiss came from the back of the field tonight. Of course, that was fifth place, but spent most of this race watching the fight for the lead. Only those last 15-20 laps did you make a charge, Braxton, and it worked out. It was a nicely fought battle, and you took it down low, and you took the win.
Yeah, it was it was a solid one there. I missed qualifying. I got a call from Cody. He's like, "Are you racing?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm up here messing with my race car, the Roadster." And he was like, "Well, it's gridding." So I had to run down and get all my streaming stuff set up and get that all ready to go. But nonetheless, we were ready to go with about 30-some seconds left with the grid. So just happy to be able to, have a clean run there. We all had a pretty, clean run. I was able to save my tires there for the first half. I went just a little bit before halfway and was able to pick them off one by one and just able to pull away and get our, I don't know I think it's like our fifth win of the year.
And back-to-back wins to end the season as well, which, of course, perhaps the best way to go out. You started in the back of this lineup, but you found a way to attack the inside better than everyone else. So what was it like for you inside the cockpit? Could you walk us through what made you so good at being aggressive?
I think just saving the tires was definitely a big deal, but I felt like I was getting a little bit lower in 3 and 4 and everybody else. Seemed like they were pushing up a little bit more and using up the right front. Um, and just being able to get that run down from this center off of 2, I'd go down and hit like the white line. When I was running by myself, I get a straighter exit off, and it would definitely be easier on the right front. And I definitely felt like that made it, live a lot longer there, and be able to, make the passes there on the low side around them fellers. That was definitely my goal, to be able to have enough tire. I didn't want to go too early and, be caught like trying to pass second or something and just get around him or get behind him and not be able to do anything. So, it worked out really well. Just being patient, letting the car roll a little bit, then getting into the throttle was definitely a big deal. I went down on my steering ratio a little bit. I felt like if it was up, I probably would have been a tad bit more loose, but nonetheless, it definitely worked out with our strategy. So happy with that, to be able to go back to back to end it off with the twin 25s, I believe was the last race, and then with now this being the last race of the season, it's cool to be able to get the most wins and be one of the most consistent. Just needed that championship. Just needed that one more start. We just needed to start one more, but it is what it is. Congrats to Dakota on the championship.
Well, without a doubt, a great season for you, even if you can't wrap up the title. And you mentioned wins across wins from beginning to end on the season. With that said, next season, you think you'll be coming back and looking for more?
Yeah, I think Cody will potentially probably put this on again. I'm not too sure what he's going to do. Wouldn't surprise me if he did it again. Definitely was a little up and down this season, but it was definitely a lot of learning curves for I know for him, and I helped out a little bit with this season. Nothing of a major role, just kind of like a sidekick if he had any questions or anything like that. I personally have ran in a lot of leagues, but haven't ran any leagues. I'd rather drive than run it personally. But it's always nice to be able to get the taste of the other side and get an understanding of that. I feel like it's nice to be able to just get as much knowledge as you can with whatever you're doing. So definitely, I'll definitely be back if he has something going on.
With that said, season ending on a high note. A great fight to get it to the end and take the checkered flag here in Kern County. Braxton Luis, if you had any final messages for the crowd, of course, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, of course, Interstate Ford. Big shout out to them for being on a car for a majority of the season. We were able to sweep the street stock races here. The first race was the street stock, and then it ended with street stock. So happy to be able to do that with Interstate on a car. They're definitely one of my biggest supporters. Also, big shout out to Happy Karaoke, 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop, Steak Time, Dewey's Renovations, Elevated TV, Allen's Arts Images, Paid Leave, Wood Nickel Band, Ghost Train, Short Track Reports, Coming Tires Media, F Canada Designs, Our Pizza House in Winchester, Indiana, for helping the Winchester Speedway and helping the Roadster Series as well. And I want to give a shout out to you. I believe I seen something about, if I'm not mistaken, you and your girlfriend are going to go to state for whatever you guys are doing. So, I've been thinking about trying to be able to do what I can to support you guys, and I'm still thinking about that. It's just a little rough going right now, trying to get as much race car parts and all that stuff, and just trying to make a living. So I'm thinking about you, brother. Hopefully you guys do well, and hopefully you succeed.
Well, we appreciate that a ton, Braxton, of course. Thank you for taking the time and mentioning that. And, of course, great to have you here. Winner to end the season at Rolling Thunder. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate you, David. Take care, man.
With Braxton Deweese on the way, last on the night, if we can speak to him, we'll try to get a word from your third-place finisher, and it looks like he's here. Bailey 3 in the number 61, so we'll talk to him for a little bit. Your third-place finisher on the night, last of the podium here from Bakersfield, California. How was it ending the season here? Bailey 3, number 61, you got a copy? Looks like the 61 of 3 not available. However, we could speak to our second place man in the championship, that being Xavier King in the 84. We'll try that out right now. Number 84, Xavier King, how are you feeling? We got a copy? Looks like both drivers not available for the time being. Nevertheless, King finishing P5 on the day. Bailey finishing third. It was David Palmer who finished in fourth. But all in all, your winning man is Braxton DeWeese. And of course, your championship winner, Dakota Bro, the number 52. Above all else, Braxton DeWeese finishes off the season with 2 consecutive wins, and that's the way it ends for the virtual Kern County Speedway. The Kern County Desert Showdown is your season finale for the first season of the Rolling Thunder iRacing series here on Elevated TV, and it has been a pleasure bringing it to life. Here in FTN Broadcasting, I've been your host, David Kreutz, commentating and producing. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the stream and subscribe to both Elevated TV and FTN Broadcasting. Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway, the host, the Desert Showdown, the event, and this is how it ends for Season 1 of the Rolling Thunder iRacing Series. Congratulations to Braxton DeWeese on the win, and of course to Dakota Bro on the championship. We'll be back with more events on Elevated. Keep this in mind. The bottom right of your screen will show you what you're looking for, and we've got ourselves a few good races coming right up. The most important of which is the Elevated TV 500 coming on the weekend of the February 7th. I believe it'll be February 8th, so look out for that. We'll have the Pensacola Showdown January 29th at 9 p.m. and the Icebreaker to finish off January and begin February. Timing still to be determined. Look out for that one too. 3 great events coming up on Elevated TV. Full-time coverage on FTN starting very soon as well. So look out for what's yet to come. We're ready to get the ball rolling and move on to that next race. But until then, thank you for tuning in. We hope you had a fantastic night. And of course, thank you most for watching the first season of the Rolling Thunder iRacing series.
10 weeks, 1 champion. It all comes down to this. Brace yourself. 350 horses on a rampage. The Outlaw Dirt Series Sportsman Modifieds are coming to Shaggy TV. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sportsman Modifieds will roar to life across 10 of iRacing's amazing dirt tracks, starting at Lanier and ending at Oswego. You just gotta be there. Cherry Cinematography, specializing in iRacing photography, has deals to suit all your needs. With deals like 5 for 10, 10 for 20, 15 for 30, and 20 for 60, you cannot go wrong. You can reach out to Carson Cherry 226 on Discord. That's CARSON Cherry 226.
You feel the ground shake. Your bones begin to rattle. You hold on for dear life. 280 foot-pounds of torque is coming your way. It's the TFG Sport Compact Series, dropping 168 horsepower with 2 front wheels of squealing. Every night's a beatdown.
The TFG Sport Compact Series is coming back to Right Rear Racing on Friday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it live on YouTube with Right Rear Racing TV as the Jettis clash at the historic Nashville Fairgrounds. 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing promotions, where the challenge remains unique.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Boundless makes its presence felt. It will not be ignored. We're helping turn ideas into reality with a wealth of building products that take every architectural style to the next level. This is what it's like to imagine, build, and transform anything we want into exactly what we seek. This is what it means to be boundless.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, to build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal achievement.
Welcome to the Underdog Racing Podcast, where we talk to NASCAR drivers from all over the great country of America. Each week, we chat about the latest races, share stories from the track, and get to know the drivers behind the wheel. We break down the action, hear from drivers about their experiences, and dive into what drives them to keep racing. Whether you're a longtime NASCAR fan or just curious about the sport, this is the place for you. So tune in to the Underdog Racing Podcast, your inside look at the world of NASCAR. Catch us every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.